Hey Rufus, bad news. The channel isn't doing well. Well, by this time I figured we have about 200 million subscribers. 54. No, just 54. Yep. No, we don't quit, you jackaninny. No, we don't work harder, you scrumplebump. We work smarter. Look, I went on eBay and I got this giant computer. This one. You just tell it what you want to make a video about, and it spits out a clickbait nonsense thumbnail that's sure to attract hordes of viewers. Let's see if it works. Rufus, give me a terrible idea for a video. Right, that is terrible. Let's see what happens. The etymology of the name Rufus. Well, what did it shit out over there? Yeah, you see, I'd watch every single one of those. Let's find out. I want to do something with English words that derive from Latin future passive participles. Well, what's it say? Not bad. Okay then, let's talk about the word legend. It's a fairly common word, and it's got a few different meanings and usages floating around out there in the Anglophonosphere. Rufus, what's the first use of legend you can think of? Ah yes, legend in the sense of a traditional story that purports to be historical but is probably more like a fable or a myth. The word legend has been used in this way in English since at least the 16th century. That use of the word legend, meaning something more like a rumor, is surprisingly recent. It doesn't really show up before the mid-1800s, even though it's obviously very similar to the older use of legend. Also a relatively recent usage. People who are still alive but recognized as being legendary in their own lifetimes, that only dates to the end of the 19th century. What? Anyway, there's also a very modern and colloquial use of legend to refer to people who do amazing things or just generally display noteworthy behavior, as in, did you hear Bob partied until 4 a.m. and still aced his calculus final the next morning? What a legend. But you won't find this slangy use of the word outside of Urban Dictionary just yet. Okay, don't get your blue barracudas in a bunch. I'm getting to it. So besides all these usages about mythical stories and people, the word legend also somewhat inexplicably refers to the explanatory information on a map. You know, the legend or key that tells you what all the symbols mean. So why do we use the same word, legend, for that and for the story of King Arthur? Oh no, it's a temple guard! I can explain it, but first the appropriate content warning. Right. Blackboard would probably be better used than this clickbait machine here. So the word legend comes into English sometime in the 1200s through Norman French, but the root itself comes from Latin. The oldest meanings in French are of a narrative or a tale, especially the stories of the lives of various saints, but the Latin itself is more illuminating. The word legend comes from the Latin verb legere, to read, either as a gerund, in which case it just means reading, or from the future passive participle. The forms overlap somewhat, so it's not entirely clear which one it is, but the participle explanation is more explanatory. Participles are verbal adjectives, so a future participle is a verbal adjective describing an action that occurs subsequent to the time of speaking. It's passive rather than active, so the action is being received rather than performed. In Latin, the future passive participle of lego would be legendus a literally meaning something like about to be read. In practice, though, the future passive participle often conveys an idea of obligation or propriety, something that has to be read or is worthy of being read. I think both of these meanings are evident in the different usages of legend. It could be a story that's worthy of being read, like the legend of King Arthur, or in the case of a map, the legend is the part that must be read in order to understand the map. So the Latin future passive participle legendus from lego, to read, means something that must be read or is worthy of being read. But we get lots of English words from Latin future passive participles, not just legend. So if legend is from legendus and means must be read or worthy of being read, then by analogy, what do these other words mean? I'll put the answers in the video description. See if you can figure them out. Rufus, you're back. How'd the temple run go? Shocking. Did you get close? Amazing. Legend. Okay, I'm going to fire up that clickbait machine again and get to work churning out some more unscrupulous content. See you next time.